Yes, welcome back to the Sports Show. Time to turn our attention to the rugby league. We don't spend enough time talking about that here in South Australia, Poppy. But
we don't. But you know what my overview of rugby league is? Rough-looking blokes and good-looking girls. That's the way I see the competition.
It's always good of you to go deep and think thoroughly about the whole sport. Ken Kennedy's been good enough to join us. Ken, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Yes, and Aslin Styles, the media, marketing,
events, sponsorship,
doing it all for you. Aslin, how are you?
Good, thank you.
All right, got a big week coming up, June 10, June 12 here, the affiliated states championships at Thebarton.
Yeah, well, we've got teams coming in from the Territory, WA and Victoria. Obviously, Victoria got Melbourne Storm there, which makes a big difference to the players they bring in. Everybody's down there trying to make the grade. And WA have got a bid in for NRL, so they've got guys over there. So we struggle a bit, but this year we've picked our teams from the whole of South Australia, not just Metro. So
we're talking before we went on air, you're saying that the country centres seem to be taking more to rugby right now than the city?
Yeah, with Mount Gambier competition's growing, 144 players, they play in summer. And Spencer Golf have got over 100 players. A lot of players out of Roxby Downs that play from or came from New South Wales and Queensland, so they're very experienced.
Is the growth dependent on pockets of nationalities, or is it just a sport they've grown up with, or is it a bit of both?
Yeah, probably a bit of both. I think a lot of them guys, Eastern States, have grown up with it, so that's what it's sort of they come from. But a lot of new guys playing. They're keen. They like the contact. And I was talking to a guy this week from India, and he played a game over there that's pretty rough, and he's keen to have a run. So, yeah, it's just a bit different.
Aslin, if we were in New South Wales or Queensland, a state of origin, of course, on tonight, if you were promoting this championship in those states, I'd imagine it wouldn't be as difficult as here. How is it trying to promote rugby league in South Australia?
It's quite difficult. I mean, it's a very AFL-dominated state. However, there is small pockets of people that are interested, and as said, there's about 80,000 people in Adelaide who watch the Origin. So we've definitely got a market here. We've just got to work towards.
Yeah, it's incredible what the state of origin brings to the sporting community beyond your particular sport. And again, we were chatting about the Adelaide Rams days and just sort of crowds they got, and then less than a decade ago, of course, we had the Sharks here at Hindmarsh Stadium. I was surprised the sort of interest it got, given that, as Alyssa points out, we're not an NRL state per se.
Well, I think Origin's the big winner for us. They said it wasn't going to work, all the media.
Yeah.
But it's...
And we can't make it work. AFL can't make it work.
Yeah, it's... I think there's more prestige now to play Origin than there is for your country amongst our guys. So... But it's just tremendous. If you go to Sydney Football Stadium or ANZ and 80-odd thousand people there, it's just, the atmosphere is incredible.
And it was good, mate. So I was fortunate. I spent 10 years in Canberra at the Institute of Sport playing there. So that was in the great days for the Raiders, of course, Mal Meninga, Laurie Daly, Bradley Clyde, those kinds. I remember Mal Meninga saying to me, and Laurie Daly's told me the same story, come State of Origin. Now, these are two Australian players, two of the elite NRL players of their time, could not talk to each other during the weeks of State of Origin. They'd actually go to training, couldn't talk to you. They're that passionate about playing for their state that it was difficult to combine it into their clubs.
Yeah, the rivalry is incredible. Paul Gallen, the G-Train, he just... he hates Queenslanders, in that week, and he plays with a heap of Benny Barber guys like that. But it's
definitely
a passion
mate
for your
against
state.
mate.
Yeah,
it is mate against mate, very much. And I think it showcases all of these elements of sport that we don't see so much, that have been sanitised out of the game. Those real hard hits, and it's like that boiling. You're waiting for it to erupt. You know it's going to happen at some stage. Usually it's early, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, well, something's going to happen. It's mate against mate, and they get into it. And even last year's grand final, I think, pushed the game forward again. They're going down the line the last couple of seconds of the game, and the Cowboys. Yeah, everybody's waiting for the Cowboys to win a game, competition.
On the back of that, is there a plan in place? I guess having the championships within a week of that, or a week and a bit of tonight's game, or the State of Origin series, gives you some sort of momentum, something to hang your head on.
I think it does help, and Aslin's promoting really well. So if it's a good series this year, or a good one tonight, we could get a few people come along and have a look. We've been fortunate to be able to play our competition rounds at Thebarton Oval, which is sensational. We were back there in the 90s, and everybody's sort of pretty happy being there.
Mate, there's some stuff coming up. I mean, you've got selections for championships in July. You've got championships in Port Macquarie. You've got the under-11 Rams Academy. So there's a fair bit happening.
Yeah, I suppose the Rams Academy is a big one. They're just a group of young kids that play in the competition and probably overlooked a little bit in the school national programs. And so we've had them together. They've been training weekly since November. We had a game against the under-15s last night, game of hold, and the kids are going really well. And they're not super athletes, but they're really keen. So the experience going to Laurie Spooner Shield, run by the Cowboys. So what they'll do, they go out and play 4 games on the Sunday, 2 games on Monday, and go to the Manly Cowboys game on the Monday night.
I reckon the biggest thing is trying to make it cool for kids. And there's so much competition. I really don't know how you do it, because when you think of AFL and cricket, and now with Adelaide United going so well, soccer, they're all clawing at that age group to get them involved. Getting them is a hard thing.
Yeah, we struggle 14 up.
Yeah.
I think young kids have probably made their choice then, but we're very strong, probably 200 plus kids playing from 6 to 12. So if we can hold them there. We do a lot of work in schools. We see around 33,000 students a year. It's converting them to players is the issue.
Yeah.
And all sports face that though.
Sure. Yep. Most young kids aspire to be something, be it Tex Walker, be it Andrew McLeod, whatever. We don't kind of have that focus here in Adelaide. Is there a chance the NRL could look at bringing a game now to Adelaide Oval? I mean, Adelaide Oval just seems to have grabbed every sport that's played on an oval. I mean, we had it a couple of years ago. They bought 2 teams in here to play. Could you see that happening again?
Todd Greenberg was at Canterbury when they brought them in, Canterbury and Melbourne Storm. He's keen. He wants to play on major stages. At the moment, a bit different to the AFL. The AFL own their clubs. The NRL only own a couple of clubs. And so clubs sell their right to home games to stadiums, that sort of thing. So there's Manly is one club I can think of. They sell 10 home games and they take 2 away. But they'll go to Mackay where they'll pull 30,000 people as opposed to our 11 or so here. And the clubs are looking to take away something like 230,000 from a game. So, but the NRL are aware of it. We sort of make them aware of it every day.
A couple of times a day.
Fortunately, we've got Marty Meredith as the state manager now. He looks after all the states, and he's a former Manly player, and he's passionate about the game, so he's working behind the scenes to try and make something happen.
All right, we need to go. I just want to ask you quickly, as a state of origin, massive in New South Wales, that was played in Melbourne, massive. Any chance we could get a game here at Adelaide Oval?
Well, we are working towards that. We've got a bit of competition in regards to the audience levels that we can get. A stadium usually needs to be about 80,000 capacity, whereas Adelaide Oval is 50,000. But we're going to definitely put in a bid and try and make that happen.
All right, for that to happen, we need people to sit on people's laps at Adelaide Oval.
That's okay.
We have a bid in for the World Cup, so in 2017. So Adelaide put a bid in for that, so that should be interesting.
Well, we'd like to see that. NRL, it's a great sport. If you get a chance to watch it, State of Origin is fantastic. We need to get away to a break. Stay with us. Still a bit more to come.